Have you ever prayed for something with all your heart, only to feel a strange sense of unease when it finally seems to be happening? This is Lydia's story, a story of faith, heartbreak, and divine intervention. Lydia was a woman of deep faith. For years, she had prayed, fasted, and waited patiently for the husband God had chosen for her. She wasn't just looking for a partner, she was looking for a soulmate who shared her love for God. Then, David walked into her life. He was everything she had prayed for, or so it seemed. Charming, spiritual, and eloquent, David quickly became a respected figure in their church. He led prayer meetings, quoted scripture effortlessly, and his devotion seemed unshakable. When he proposed, Lydia and the entire church celebrated. It felt like a dream come true, a direct answer to her years of waiting. But as the wedding day drew closer, a strange heaviness settled in Lydia's spirit. Something just didn't feel right. This feeling grew, gnawing at her peace. She couldn't ignore it. One night, overwhelmed with anxiety, Lydia fell to her knees in prayer. Tears streamed down her face as she poured her heart out to God. "Lord," she whispered into the darkness, "I trust you. I only want your will. If this marriage is not from you, please, I beg you, stop it, no matter the cost." It was a terrifying prayer, but her desire to obey God was stronger than her desire for marriage. The very next day, carrying a box of wedding invitations, she decided to surprise David at his apartment. As she approached his door, she noticed it was slightly ajar. She heard voices from inside David's, and another woman's. Lydia recognized the woman's voice. She was a member of the church choir. Curiosity turned to dread as she paused to listen. "I don't love her." David's voice was sharp, laced with frustration. "This marriage is a stepping stone. With Lydia as my wife, I'll have more influence, more respect in the church. It's about position." The wedding invitation slipped from Lydia's trembling hands and fell to the floor with a soft thud. The sound was drowned out by the shattering of her own heart. In that painful, shocking moment, Lydia understood. God had answered her prayer. He had revealed the truth. The man she was about to marry was a fraud, his spirituality a mask for his ambition. The next morning, with a heavy heart but a clear mind, Lydia walked into her pastor's office. Calmly and firmly, she announced, "The wedding is off." Confusion and questions followed, but Lydia stood her ground. Whispers and gossip soon filled the church halls. Some called her proud, others speculated she was cursed. Facing the judgment and disappointment of her community, Lydia held on to her conviction. "I would rather disappoint people," she told her closest friend, "than disappoint God." With her Bible in hand, she walked away from the noise, the rumors, and the life she thought she wanted. The pain was immense, but underneath it all, a profound peace began to settle in her soul, the kind of peace that only comes from true obedience. 3 months passed. The sting of betrayal had started to fade, replaced by a quiet trust in God's plan. A friend invited Lydia to her wedding, and she hesitated, but decided to go. It was there she met Samuel. He was a humble missionary, recently returned from serving in Kenya. There were no grand pronouncements or charismatic displays, just a gentle spirit and a genuine love for God that shone in his eyes. Their connection was immediate, built on a shared foundation of authentic faith and kindness. Through prayer and time, Lydia's heart began to heal and open up again. She realized that Samuel was the man she had been praying for all along. He was the divine replacement, the true gift God had prepared for her. This story closes not with heartbreak, but with a new beginning. We see Lydia walking down the aisle, radiant with a joy that is pure and real. This time, there is no unease, only the deep, certain peace of knowing she is exactly where she is meant to be. Her journey is a powerful reminder that sometimes, what we perceive as rejection is actually God's redirection. The wedding that never happened became the very blessing that saved her destiny. Remember to trust that inner voice, that feeling that tells you something isn't right. God's delays are never denials. They are often His way of protecting us and preparing us for something far greater than we could ever imagine. Thank you for watching. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe for more content that inspires faith and trust in the journey. We'll see you in the next video.